Hi guys, welcome to episode 54 of Notable Needlework. I am Kate, Notable Needle, N-O-T-E-A-B-L-E, on Ravelry, on Plurk, on Twitter, and on Draw Something. Is it Draw Some or is it Draw Something? I don't know. Anyways, the blog, if you are watching this on iTunes, is at notableneedlework.blogspot.com, and that's where you can find the show notes. If you are a new viewer, thank you for coming to check me out. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. It honestly feels like it's been 3 weeks since the last time I recorded. Yeah, my week has sort of been split into Monday through Tuesday feels like a week, and then Wednesday feels like a week, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday feel like a week. So it feels like it's been 3 weeks since I last recorded. I will start with frogged objects. I frogged the Gollum socks. I was trying really hard to get the pattern to not be as fiddly, but with the way it's constructed, it's technically doable on Magic Loop, and I kind of understand how you would be able to do that, but just the way that the cable goes, you would have to cable stitches 3 from each side of the Magic looping. So I frogged it. I'm going to try later when I don't have as many things on the needles that I want to finish. But this is my Cascade Heritage sock in Aqua? Yeah, this is Aqua. I have another skein that's hiding behind that door that's the Anise. They're very similar colors, but this is Aqua. It will either be the Gollum socks or I will make them into another pair of socks, but it is a very good yarn and I love it, as you'll be able to see because I have like 9 million projects in it. Yeah, that was the only thing I frogged. Works in progress. So, as I said last week, the twins are boys. So, I started working on the monkey socks for Addie in Knit Pick Stroll Knit Pick Stroll hand painted in the Tree Fort colorway. I just started the pattern part, and so you can kind of see where the stitches are either going to one side or the other. But I like the way it looks so far, and I think it'll be very pretty in the pattern. It's very short color repeats, so there's not pooling or anything, and I think that it will show off the pattern nicely. This is Monkey by Cookie A, and I'm doing the small size, the 64 stitch size, on US 2, so it will be stretchy enough to fit on her feet, because if you've been pregnant, you know that all of your ligaments tend to flatten out because of the way that the body releases hormones, and so your feet can be, I think it's a half a size to a size wider, and they don't go back. So making sure that it's nice and wide for her feet. But they're coming along, and I do love the monkey. This is for the Cookie A knit along that we are doing. Any Cookie A pattern is fair. It's from now until the end of April. And just be sure to post a picture of your finished object in the group and tag it with NN for Notable Needlework, Cookie KAL. So Notable Needlework Cookie Knit Along. And there's a thread on the Ravelry group. I think I forgot to mention that there's a Ravelry group if you're a new viewer. But yeah, it's a coming along. And that one's in my Pretty Cheap project bag, the blue one. Even Star has received no love. I may actually take it with me this week when I help with the twins. they've been very good about sleeping between their feedings and really not needing much attention. And there's like 4 hours in between their scheduled feedings, so I might be able to get some work on that. We'll see. Other works in progress. I have in the pink Pretty Cheap project bag the Gimli socks that I am making for my husband Will. And I finished the leg, and oh, that's the messed up size. This is going to be the top part, the top of the foot that you're going to see. I finished the leg, and I've started a little bit of the heel flap, and it's just that twisted stitch ribbing on the back, so it'll come along. But this is Cascade Heritage sock in the True Red colorway, or the Christmas Red. I don't really remember. It's Gimli. It's the Gimli sock by Claire Ellen from the Fellowship of the Socks book. I love how the twisted stitches show the pattern. It's actually not nearly as difficult as it looks, which I feel like is true of most of her patterns. The finished project tends to look a lot more difficult than it actually is to do. This side cable is only a 4-row repeat, and then this one is it's like 20 something rows. But no, it's a 16-row repeat, but quite a few of those are this working even part, and then this actual crossing over part, I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of like a basket weave, where if you remember to cross this stitch the right way, then you can figure out how to cross the rest of them without having to look at the pattern. So looks a lot more complicated than it actually is. And I love it, and I know its recipient, who is right outside the door over there doing laundry, is going to love it. And he has not been paying attention to my knitting recently, so he has no idea that I'm working on it. And he knows, he loves the pattern. He has been begging me to do them for him, and now that I'm working on them, he has not noticed that I've been working. I love my husband. Other works. I don't actually know if I worked on Daybreak this week. I think I thought about it. But this is Daybreak by Stephen West, and it's Highline Handmade Sugar Maple Sock in the Brights Rainbow colorway, and Cascade Heritage Sock in the True Black colorway. Yeah, now that I'm looking at it, I don't think I worked on it this week. But it's still pretty, so I'll show it. I'm hoping to do this and finish in time for the Knit One Heart 2 Knack Knit Along, which means I'd have to finish it by April 11th. I don't know if that's going to happen because I'm doing the large version of the shawl. But whenever I finish it, it'll be pretty. And because spring has already started here in Birmingham, I probably won't be able to wear it until about October. Such is the way my life works. But it's pretty, so I'll be able to look at it at the very least. And that's in my bird leg bags, small project bag that I've squished all to hell with the knitting sheepies on it. And last work in progress in the Yarnivore bag is /R. Oh, I stopped in the When you're doing 2 at a time, it doesn't really matter if you stop in the middle of a row because it's not the middle of a row, it's in the middle of 2 socks. But these are the Perry the Platypus self-striping socks. It's just simple sock with the afterthought heel. And it's Nalani Yarns. Here's the tag. 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, in the Perry the Platypus self-striping yarn colorway. So it's getting there. That's my waist yarn for the afterthought heel. So I don't think I'm going to make these too terribly long, just because I don't want them falling down as stockinette socks have the tendency to do. Plus, she doesn't really wear super long socks. So I don't think there's going to be too much longer. I think I might do the cuff longer than usual so that it'll grip, but it'll still be plenty long so that you can see the striping pattern for more. This is 64 stitches on a US size 1, and it shows the pattern striping perfectly. I love it. I'm hoping to finish these socks soon, and then I can do the twins' little hats out of this same leftover yarn, probably in the same 64 stitches, so that the stripe pattern for the, like 3 inches that you do even before you start the decreases will actually have the striping pattern. Hey, Boo Boo. I don't know if you can ever hear her little noises, but she really does make the cutest noises. She picked that from her sister. Yeah, from little sister. Yeah, I'm sure y'all can't, like, actually hear the noises, so I just look like I'm crazy talking to myself, but she's responding, which is unusual for Yuki. No, Susu's not back yet. I'll talk about that more later. But this is the last work in progress, and I have 2 upcoming projects. One I will show now, the other I will show when I show the new stuff. So I decided to bite the bullet and try my hand at doing monsters. So I will be doing the Monster Chunks by Rebecca Danger. I don't have the pattern anywhere, but it's basically a little ball with feet and a face. So I will see how that goes and then decide. I have been looking at her Rebecca Danger's Book of Knitted Monsters, and it's not that expensive, but I want to make sure that I would actually want to knit monsters before I buy the book. Although I could buy the book and then give it away if I really don't like it, and then I have built-in prize for the podcast. So I'm going to be doing that out of leftover Cascade 220 from my Camp Loopy project #1 from this past summer. So it's, yeah, I don't remember what the actual names of the colorways were, but I think this one was like, nope, no idea. No idea what these were. And it was before I actually started posting things in the Ravelry stash page, so I have no idea. But this will be my main color for the 2, and this will be the feet, because you only need about 30 yards of the main color and 10 for the feet. So I can probably get 2 monster chunks out of these, if not more. Nice blue colors for my 2 favorite twin boys. Yuki's having fun sitting in this. Oh great, now I have the light in my eyes. Someone just pulled up into the parking lot, and so now their windshield is reflecting the sun perfectly right into my eyes. See, you can see that reflection right there. Right in the eye. Spinning. Spinning. I spun like a madwoman on Sunday night and Monday. And I'm trying to dig this out. So, oh lordy, it came off the thing. Okay, hold on, I have to fix this real quick. So this is the Greenwood Fiberworks. I saved the tag somewhere here. Nope, that's Bright's Rainbow. Oh, no, I have it in my bag. It's hand-painted roving, 4 ounces of BFL in the Tribe colorway. That's Greenwood Fiberworks. I finished the first 2 ounces. I'm planning on doing a 2-ply. I'm trying not to like completely and utterly destroy what I have set up. Okay, so here's the first 2 ounces. To me, it is very reminiscent. You can't really see the greens, but that right there is like an olive green. There's some more of it. There's browns and blues and charcoal grays. To me, it's very reminiscent of the Fiber Nymph Dye Works colorway Piano Man. Maybe I'm not remembering Piano Man exactly correctly, but that's what it reminds me of. It's very pretty. This will be something for a man. I don't know which man because it'll depend on yardage and what I make out of it. But it's very pretty. And I started the second 2 ounces. So you can see the browns and the greens and all those pretty colors. I still have a boatload in here, but this is sort of what it looks like in the fiber. It's very pretty. I'm very enjoying spinning it. I like the way BFL spins. This is the first time I've spun BFL, and I like it, which is good because I have some more now. And this is in my Knitting's My Bag, the custom bag that she did for me with the medical equipment on it. Yay! I really do love this bag. New stuff. Because I don't have anything else, I don't think. Yeah, I didn't finish anything. Yeah. So, I have some stuff that I told you about last week, and then I have some that I didn't. So, I'll start with what I did tell you about. I got my 2 braids of fiber from Greenwood Fiberworks. The first is 4 ounces of Heathered BFL in the Grapevine colorway. It's very soft and squishy, and as you can see, they have these darker streaks of wool running through the whole thing, and I think it's going to spin up absolutely beautifully. I love the colors. It's a hair darker than it's showing up, because right now it's being a little bit washed out, but the colors are absolutely fantastic. So I got this one, and I got this, which is Shades of Magenta in Polworth. And as the name implies, it is Shades of Magenta. And this is also 4 ounces. Well, I have some items from, oh my gosh, I can't remember what her first name is. I think it has it somewhere in here. I know her last name is Carolyn. That is her first name. I received 2 braids of hers for Christmas from my sister-in-law. Sorry, I'm going to try it. There we go. I had never seen what it looked like in the package, how she presented it. She does a very nice job of presenting her fiber. Wrapped up in tissue paper with a very pretty rainbow ribbon. I know, me and rainbows. And she put in her card. Yeah, I know you can't read anything on there because it's backwards, but I'll put a link to the shop. But it's on Etsy, so I have her card now. And she also sent in a little note that says, "Hi Catherine, thank you so much for your purchase of the fiber. I hope you enjoy it. Enclosed is a little sample of milk silk for you to play with. Have fun. And then Come Visit Again, Carolyn. And this is the Milk Silk, and it is from the protein that you find in milk. It's a very pretty blue color, blues and greens, and it's very soft. To me it feels a lot like very soft human hair almost, or really fine cat hair, in a good way. But it's very strong, and I have been playing with it. So it's always very sweet when dyers or vendors or whatnot take the time to package their items like that. I also told you about last week the needles that I was getting from Grandma's Hand Knits. I know you can't read it. But she's also on Etsy. And I got 3 sets of the ChiaoGoo red knit lace, or knit red lace? Anyways, I got a 60-inch size 5 to use for the Spectra and of course for other things as well. A 47-inch size 6 because it's a good size to have. I think I originally bought this not just because it's a good size to have, but because I want to do the My Favorites, I'm hitting myself in the face, the My Favorite Scarf or Favorite Scarf Ever pattern out of, oh, I guess you can't see it, but it's in that cubby right there. It's 3 Irish Girls yarn, but it will also be used for other things as well. And then a 32-inch US size 8 for the jeweled cowl that I'm finally going to do. I've only had that yarn since before Christmas. So I'll finally be able to do it, because I didn't want to try magic looping that because of the way that the beaded bits move around the cowl in sort of a spiral thing. So that's those. I also, I just knocked over a bunch of stuff on my desk. Do you not like that noise? No? You want to say hi? Want to say hi, Boo Boo? No? No, she doesn't want to say hi yet. I made a trip to Joann's because I needed to get this. It's Lion Brand Pound of Love in the pastel blue colorway. And this is going to be what I'm doing twin number 2's blanket out of, since I now know that they're boys. I'm not too worried about the timeline on that because they are preemie babies and they're very small, and the size blanket that I'm making, they're not going to use until they're at least like 6 months old and starting to crawl and all that, so I'm not too worried. But while I was there, I also got a size J crochet hook because I lost the one that I need to make the blanket in the correct size somewhere in the couch, and I literally tore that couch apart trying to find it. I have no idea where it went. And I also got, we went yesterday, which was St. Patrick's Day, and they were having like 75% off all St. Patrick's Day stuff, and this one was already $1, and I had a like 20% off including sale items coupon, so I figured it's like 20 cents or something like that. They're little push pins and they're shamrocks, so I got them because they were originally $1. I would have paid $1 for these. The fact that they were on sale just made it even better. So I get to have those on my board, which you can't see, which all of my push pins right now are ladybugs. And I think there's some colored ones hiding under there, but now there's little clovers to go there. But this is my other upcoming project. I'm going to be doing that hooded baby blanket, which is actually the one shown on the label. It's a cute, easy little pattern, and I'm not going to make it 3 feet wide this time. So that'll work. Nursing school. This was actually the first week that I had both of my clinicals in the same week. Sorry, she's so cute when she cleans herself. So we had, what did we have? Class, exam, class, clinical. Okay. So, psych clinical was actually the far more interesting clinical this week. I was on the child and adolescent ward, wing, whatever you want to call it. Our hospital is split into 4 wings. You've got your child and adolescents, which I was on, main floor, acute unit, which is pretty much what you think of when you think of psych ward, and then step down. So if you come in and you're thinking of hurting yourself, or you're thinking of hurting others, or you're acutely psychotic, you get put on the acute floor, and then once you're not a danger to yourself anymore, you get moved to the step down and then to the general wing, and then you get discharged or moved to somewhere else. So I was on child and adolescents. It was definitely interesting. My specific patient, I'm a little worried about. He had antisocial personality disorder, which technically you can't be diagnosed with until you're over the age of 18, and he was not. But he's very close to the age of 18, and he's showing... If you've ever watched Criminal Minds or CSI or any of those shows, you've probably heard... Law and Order is the other one that likes to mention it a lot. There's what's known as the trifecta of things to look for when you're looking at a serial killer's background. One of them is animal abuse. I forget what they always say. It's animal abuse, wetting the bed, and like pyromania or something like that. I don't know. But one of the hallmarks of a really bad form of antisocial personality disorder is animal abuse when you're young. My patient had that, and yeah. Let's just say I won't be surprised if I hear his name on the news in a couple years. He scared me. He honestly really scared me. Just looking into his eyes and knowing that something is not right in there. He was just a very sad story. He hears voices telling him to hurt people. And he was in our psych ward because he assaulted his teacher. He's been thrown out of school, I think 11 times now, and he just got expelled from his alternative school for assaulting that teacher, and so he was in the psych ward waiting for a hearing with the school board to see whether or not he could go back to school, just because of all the felonies that he has accumulated. He was a little terrifying. Just actually like trying to talk to him and figure out what's going on. A little scary. The other kids, not so much. Like, there were a couple schizophrenic kids, and with the medications that they're receiving and they're complying with, they're a lot better. Couple severe ADHD kids, which are pretty cute, and then a couple kids who had been abused or had drug abuse and had tried to commit suicide, and so they were in there. But it's definitely interesting. A lot of what we were doing there was helping them with their schoolwork. Just because they are in the hospital, they still get credit. They don't get considered as missing school days because they're required to do their schoolwork. And that was a lot of what we were doing while we were there. It was schoolwork, it was playing with them outside, it was going with them to group therapy, and then during their free time we were conducting interviews with them and practicing our therapeutic communication skills. Mine was kind of like talking to a brick wall, but yeah. And labor and delivery for my OB clinical was completely and utterly uneventful. For once, I did not have a mother who was crazy or on drugs or both. I just had your basic planned pregnancy, no complications, no nothing, just taking her vital signs and getting her food, snacks, whatever, whenever she needed it. The only thing that was even remotely interesting was teaching her how to breastfeed more effectively, and that was about it. We did get to practice putting in IVs, which was nice. I think I was the only one who didn't blow the vein, which is not a fault of the other students in my clinical group. The catheters that our instructor managed to get, I think, had actually expired, and something about the way that they were made, for those of you who aren't nurses or paramedics or someone who has put in an IV before, what you're doing is, I'm trying to see if I have something that can show it somewhat effectively. Okay, this is not really what it looks like, but I'm going to make it work. So, pretty much, if you think of, okay, this would have a hole in it. If you think of this as your needle, this is a plastic or rubber tubing. It's a catheter that goes over the needle and fits flush, and it's very small, very thin. You put the needle with the catheter on it, and you insert it into the vein, and then you push the catheter further into the vein, take the needle out so that it's the catheter, the rubber part, that's staying in. The needle is not staying in. And then you connect your tubing, or you draw your blood, or whatever you want to do. The way that these were set up, instead of, you know, imagine it's already in the arm to this point or whatever. Instead of pushing the catheter forward and then taking the needle out, you had to do both at the same time, which, that combined with the fact that the catheters were sticking on the needles, they weren't coming off the needles very easily, it was extraordinarily easy to blow the vein, where you're taking the needle too far out, so then the vein is bleeding, the catheter is not in the vein, and that's when you get your bruises because you're bleeding into your skin. And you can't, once the vein is bleeding, you can't put the catheter back in the same spot. It won't, there's too much force on the needle and the catheter because of the blood that's coming out. So it was very easy to blow the veins with that specific setup. I have no idea how I managed to not blow the vein, because just from the fact that it was sticking, I feel like I should have, but I don't know. So yeah, that was fun. I think that's about it. That's really the only interesting thing, apart from the fact that it decided to start raining right as we were leaving the hospital. None of us had an umbrella because nowhere in the weather report did it say anything about raining. So we had to run from the hospital about a block across the parking lots to where we had parked in our white scrubs. So I got to my car, got inside, got all my stuff settled, turned on the radio, got ready to go. Before I even left the parking lot, it had stopped raining. So I got to drive home completely and utterly drenched. It was fun. Other stuff. This is pretty much it for nursing school. I'm on spring break this week, so other than me studying for pharm, you're really not going to hear anything about nursing school next week. Other stuff. I got to go on Tuesday and help Addie with the twins. She was discharged from the hospital on Sunday right after I recorded, and the twins were discharged on Monday afternoon. So Tuesday was their first full day at home, and Addie's husband Roberto was going to school, so I was helping her with the twins. And I have pictures because, come on, how am I not going to bring pictures? So this is how she has them sleeping. If you can see, one twin is at one side of the bed, one twin is at the other, which we got from one of our friends at church because it helps them sleep. I think she tried having them in two separate beds for a while and it didn't really work. So here's Peanut. That's Carlos, and he looks like a peanut. He really does. Such a cutie. And then there's Roberto, little man. And that's Addie with Peanut. And then Roberto and Roberto. They are absolutely adorable. They are very well behaved. They have been sleeping very well. Just pretty much, they wake up right around the time when they're supposed to eat, they get changed, and then they pass out. They're not fussy, they're not colicky, they just pass out. So it's actually really nice to be able to help out with them because they are very easy, and yeah. So I'm helping out more with them this week because I'm on spring break and I don't have classes to deal with. So I'm going over there tomorrow and I'm looking forward to it. I seriously love those two. Like, just being with babies that I actually get to like love on, because you can't, when you're working in the nursery, you can't really do that because they're not like your babies or your family or whatnot. You can't really like love on the babies. That's just sort of weird. But to actually get to like love on the babies and comfort them and actually see their personalities, love it. They make me happy. So I'm looking forward to getting to be with them tomorrow. They make me happy. And yeah, the only other thing is that my mom's coming to visit this week. She's coming on Wednesday night / Thursday morning into Atlanta. So I have to start cleaning the house because it's only a small disaster. Nursing school sort of wins over housekeeping, so I have to fix that this week. It's a disaster, it really is. So I'm fixing that this week and figuring out when we're going where while my mom's here, and sort of the timeline for when we're eating here, when we're sightseeing. By sightseeing, I mean driving around Mountain Brook. And when we're going to leave to go to Atlanta, and I'm not even going to try and figure out timeline for that Saturday that we're in Atlanta. I have no idea what we're doing. And then Sunday is straightforward because that's when my brother's playing tennis. Oh, I'm going to put a link in the show notes to an article that the University of Maryland did on my little brother, because it makes me happy, because I love him, and yeah. It's a very well written article. It makes me happy, and I love my brother. Love, love, love my brother. I'm so proud of him. I get to see him this time next week. On that note, the podcast will be delayed next weekend because I will be in Atlanta on Sunday. So I will either record Sunday night and then it probably won't be up until Monday morning, or I'll record on Monday afternoon. So it won't be on Sunday during the day. It's not happening. Oh, there are two more things. One, no, we haven't found Susu yet. We've had 2 sightings this week near the apartment complex from our neighbors that they think are her. So what we're doing is tomorrow night, and if needed, Wednesday night, we are sleeping outside. Because, I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but Yuki's been acting kind of weird, with the front door, and the reason that we think that Susu's been trying to come to the house is because they have a weird way of playing under doors, especially the bathroom door, where one of them will put their paw under the door and bat at the other one, and then they'll switch, and they'll be playing under the door because they can't see each other. Yuki was trying to do that to the front door. And there's a tiny, tiny gap under the front door. So it would be enough for her to smell her, probably not see her, but smell her, and hear her, of course. So I'm hoping that that's what it is, and that Yuki just hasn't gone completely and utterly crazy. I've not ruled that out. But we're going to be spending Monday night, like, right outside our apartment, kind of by the tree line. I'm not excited about the bugs, but I'll deal. And then if that doesn't work, we'll probably spend Wednesday night out by the feral cat camp thing. The one with like 30 cats. And see if that works. I'm hoping that we find her on Monday. And then of course the other thing is Stitches. So Alabama Fiber Festival is next weekend, so not this coming weekend, but the weekend after that. And I'm looking forward to that, and I figured out, you know, that we're driving down there because it's not that big of a drive to Montgomery. I'm looking forward to that. What I am trying to figure out is that I think it's it's either like the 14th or the 20-something, is Stitches South in Atlanta. Usually my local yarn shop charters a bus and you pay like $40 or whatever, and they drive you down there and drive you back. And I've been planning on doing that. I found out yesterday that they're not doing a bus this year. So I'm now trying to figure out how I'm getting Stitches. There's another local yarn shop that I know is having a booth there, but I'm not sure if they're organizing a bus. If they are, I'm still not really sure whether I would want to take that bus because I don't actually know anyone at that yarn shop, and I feel kind of awkward going there with them. At the same time, I don't really want to drive by myself. So if you are planning on going to Stitches South and you're in the Birmingham area or kind of between Birmingham and Atlanta and you want to drive, let me know. Or if you're coming from like Tuscaloosa or something and you're going through Birmingham, yeah. So I'm figuring that out because I know Will does not want to go with me. I don't want to drive by myself, both because of the cost and because that's really, really boring. So I'm going to figure that out. And yeah, that's about it. Oh, hold on. Just a second. Do you want to say hi? Yeah? You want to say hi? Yuki has fun in the office looking out the window at the birdies. You a good girl, Yuki? You're a pretty girl. Yeah, you're a pretty girl. She's still looking for her sister. And checking out the fiber. So yeah, until next week, I hope that you're having weather that's as nice as ours. It's like 85 degrees and it's March 18th. I don't really understand that. I'm not looking forward to the summer, but I'm going to enjoy this now. And that you have a good time knitting. Bye guys.